How's it, everybody? Welcome to the Non-Fungibles. I'm your co-host, Mick Mann, and this show brings you the very best of NFTs, the Metaverse, Web3, crypto, and this incredible new blockchain-enabled world that is changing our lives at an exponential rate. I'm so excited for this next episode. It's so amazing to see what's going on in the ecosystem. The industry is just exploding. In these early days, it's so important for us to deliver quality content around what's happening with all these new innovations and disruptions. But enough about that, let's get into it. Then I'm really excited. I got the opportunity to interview some of the community heads and the council members from CyberKongz. Yep, you heard me right. CyberKongz, one of the leaders in the PFP space, and the Metaverse, really showing and leading the way in this incredible new world. And we actually got to spend the time having an interview in Ubuntuland in the bush. So this interview takes place where I'm acting as my Meebit character, an NFT that I own, chatting to Inverted and to Henry the Grape. And lastly, if you want to keep learning about this space, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like our YouTube page, click the bell to get notified, and join the website and the Discord to be eligible for IRL and NFT giveaways, as well as activity in the Discord will make you eligible to win some of these prizes. So let's hear about the latest news stories of the week. Over to you, Lebo.
Hey there, guys. I'm Lebo, and here's a quick look at what's happening in the Web3 world. Firstly, let's address some business. Nike has made a reported $185.3 million from their NFT sales with their partner Artifact. That's pretty impressive stuff. From their virtual sneakers to their avatars and Metaverse items, they are a sure brand to watch. So what's next is what went down at this year's MTV VMAs with Eminem and Snoop Dogg, where they were the first to utilize their Bored Apes for a Metaverse performance. How crazy is that? Owning a Bored Ape can set you back $150,000 to over $1 million, and it allows you commercial rights to that actual ape. Some have used that IP to write books, but Seth Green is using it to create a TV show. But due to the phishing scam where Green's ape was actually stolen, the project has seemed to be put on hold for now. Here's an idea, Seth. An ode to meatloaf, but instead, I want my monkey back. Well, it's just a working title. Give it some time, folks. It'll work. But hey, he got his Bored Ape back, which is a happy ending. Next up, we've got some facepalm-worthy news. So, Crypto.com is going to court to attempt to recover 10.5 million that was sent to a user by mistake. An Australian woman was meant to receive a refund of $100, but someone accidentally added a few numbers and only discovered it 7 months later. What did the Aussie lady do with that cheddar, you ask? Well, like most of us who can't buy homes because of, inflation, she used some of the money to buy Melbourne property. Before the Victorian Supreme Court granted Crypto.com a freeze on her bank accounts. Aussie. Oi, vey. So on to Bellatrix Activated. In the lead up to the ETH merge, the Bellatrix hard fork, the last major upgrade before Ethereum moves from proof of work to proof of stake, has been activated. The Ethereum mainnet and the Beacon chain operate parallel to one another. And the purpose of this upgrade is to ensure validators are producing updated Beacon chain blocks that will set up the code base ahead of the merge. Honestly, for a split second, I thought this was about baking chain, because I'd buy into that. Although the upgrade doesn't represent the entirety of the merge, it is the beginning of a two-part process. So, booyah! So in more current news, luxury watchmaker Jacob & Co. have released a limited edition of 25 Astronomia Solar Bitcoin. It's a pretty mesmerizing watch, I'll give them that.
Wow.
One of them goes for $350,000. That's a lot of cash. But the actual watches can range anywhere between $88,000 to $400,000. So they're clearly selling to their target market. I think I'll stick to my Happy Meal Hello Kitty watch for now. Thank you very much. So in other news, OpenSea announced the integration of Polygon into its Seaport Protocol implementation. OpenSea supports typed signatures on Polygon, the same way as it does on Ethereum, making it easy for users to understand what they're actually signing. So in order to complete the signature request, you'll be prompted to switch your wallet network to Polygon. Nice and simple. So once you've signed, your NFT purchase should be processed nice and quickly. So up next, we have something really exciting. Oh my God! The Real Metaverse is creating a reality show parody featuring NFTs as their main characters. If this is anything like Drawn Together or The Adventures of Gumball, I think there's a lot of potential here to make this fun and watchable. We look forward to seeing what they cook up. Let's just hope that no phishing scams result in losing the main cast. Come on, guys. Let's have fun, okay? That's all we have this week, folks. Cait, what do we got that side with the dApps?
Hi everyone, it's Cait with What's the Haps with the dApps, coming at you live from my office. You see that? You see my plant babies? Yes. They have names. That one's Jill. Jill's a bit of a mess. But enough of my compulsive buying. Let's go. First up, we have Decentraland, one of the pioneer metaverses that is now a DAO. Decentraland is a 3D virtual world browser-based platform. Users can buy virtual plots of land in the platform as NFTs via the Nano cryptocurrency, which uses the Ethereum blockchain. It was open to the public in February of 2020, just before COVID hit, so I think that was their saving grace. Yeah, COVID disrupted everything. Members can explore land owned by users and experience incredible scenes and structures and architecture. I mean, there's a lot going on here. From a space adventure to a medieval dungeon maze to entire villages crafted from the minds of the community members. I mean, anything is possible here. But call me when there's a Stranger Things upside down virtual realm that you can explore. Chrissy, wake up! Next up, we have Juno. Juno is a proof of stake blockchain built using the Cosmos SDK and serving as a cross-chain smart contract hub for the Cosmos ecosystem. But what's a smart contract? And does it stand to reason then that there are dumb contracts? Well, yeah, lots of dumb things exist. I mean, just go look at my Facebook statuses circa 2009. We were in a recession. But honestly, a smart contract, according to IBM, is simply a program stored on a blockchain that runs when predetermined conditions are met. They are typically used to automate the execution of an agreement so that all participants can immediately be certain of the outcome without any intermediary involvement or time loss. To this end, smart contracts are helpful because they accompany many blockchain activities, hastening transaction speeds, ensuring performance, and increasing protections for associated parties entering into the agreement. And in Juno's case, it's aiming to be more of like a helpful sister network to the Cosmos Hub. The Cosmos WebAssembly, or CosmWasm, yeah, I know, is a smart contracting platform that brings WebAssembly, the WASM, into the Cosmos SDK. This WebAssembly plays as an intermediate language, allowing developers to program and launch smart contracts in many different programming languages. So it's like a polyglot. I love it when you talk foreign. On to the next one, Compound. Now, Compound is a software that runs on Ethereum, and it aims to incentivize and distribute networks of computers to operate a traditional money market. So, in a nutshell, Compound allows users to deposit cryptocurrency into lending pools for access by borrowers. Lenders then earn interest on the assets that they deposit, hence the name. So you can stop stuffing your cash in your mattress because, yeah, that's a rookie hiding place. And anyone who owns Comp can make decisions on the future platform, including being able to vote on Compound's interest rates and other major decisions. By the people, for the people. Next on the list, we have the BAT token. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with a certain superhero with a tragic past. but it has everything to do with ad blocking. So it is kind of like a superhero. BAT stands for Basic Attention Token. Basic attention was what I strived for in school until they got me medicated. Basic Attention Token is a product of the Brave browser, and this open source browser focuses on privacy, security, and, as you may have guessed, cryptocurrency. How does it work? Well, a Brave user can choose to drop the ad blocker and actually view the advertised content.
But why would you want to do that?
Well, because money.
Yes.
Brave's advertising system, Brave Rewards, works by offering users to be paid in BAT if they actually choose to watch any of the advertised content. And it ends up being a triple whammy win for both the viewer, the advertiser, and the publisher. Win, win, win. And of course, you're not going to be paid in fat stacks, but it is a low-effort way to earn some income without having to do very much. Even your parents can do it. Wow. And they said this stuff is way over their heads. But honestly, your parents taught you to use the spoon, so pay it forward. And lastly, we have ENS, which stands for Ethereum Naming Service. I thought ENS stood for Everyone's Nearly Sexy. So in the Web 2 world, this would have been DNS, but in the Web 3 world, it is running on Ethereum. You can use your ENS name to store all of your addresses and receive cryptocurrency, tokens, and NFTs. And it works across the board, from wallets like Coinbase to apps like Uniswap and OpenSea, and even browsers like MetaMask. You can own your username, store an avatar and other profile data, and use it across services. You just end up saving a bunch of time with the service. It's
sensational.
And that is it from me. I'm going to hand things over to Mick, who's ready with our guest of the week. Take it away.
All right, everybody, here we are for the main segment of tonight's show, and it's a special one because we are in Africarare, in the bush, in Ubuntuland, and we have some very, very special guests with us here today. We've got the CyberKongz legends, Inverted and Henry the Grape. And if you don't know what CyberKongz is, CyberKongz are these unique and randomly generated 2D and 3D NFTs. They, are social avatars for your online experiences. Some might appear normal, some might look weird, and some are just damn cool and maybe even look familiar. So I want to welcome Henry and Inverted. Guys, do you want to just do a quick intro, tell the audience who you guys are and a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah,
so let's start with you, Henry.
Okay, yeah, I'm Henry the Grape. I'm the community manager of CyberKongz, and I am also on the Council of Kongs with my friend here, Inverted. And this is kind of what we do. We do interactions with media. We do interactions with the community, partnerships. We do a lot of our IRL events. And, I was telling you before we went live, this is unbelievable to me. This gives me a lot of hope, by the way. Because, and we'll get into that a little bit more because I know you just wanted me to tell you who I am. That's who I am. I'm Henry the Grape, and I'm super stoked to be here with you.
Love it. And we were fortunate enough to meet at NFT NYC. And I think that was, one of the fruits and one of the best things that happened to us out of NFT NYC.
Oh, absolutely. We've been chatting for a while. So, what's so cool about Web3 is when that happens, you're meeting somebody in real life and you go from a meeting to this. And I think that's what makes this kind of thing so special, is when like the physical turns to digital and like you've actually physically seen this person, and it's mind blowing to me. And maybe that's because like I'm a simple person, but this is so cool, man. I'm really, really happy to be here.
Awesome. Thanks. And Inverted, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, Inverted, right? Inverted here. Council of Kongs, been one of the day one mentors, obviously, since day one. Yeah, love what you guys have going on here. It's obviously kind of crazy to see everything live, and got cameras rolling. You got Henry here embodying Mio. You got you. I mean, I'm loving it.
Awesome. I think let's jump right into it. And do you want to tell us a bit about, a little bit about CyberKongz, how the community began? Let's get into a bit of origin here.
Yeah, and I'm going to, because our CyberKongz community that is probably watching this live right now is probably going to wonder why I am in our founder's VX Kong. So the Kong that I am inhabiting right now is, we call him 810 or Mio. And I kind of stole him and took him for a joyride today. No, it was something that you guys loaded up. And so I just want to be clear, this VX Kong is Mio's, but I'm kind of privileged to be in the body of Mio's character right now. CyberKongz started in March of 2021. And we actually started with our Genesis Kongs, which are a 2D NFT. And our Genesis Kongs, there were 1,000 of them. And those 1,000 Genesis Kongs actually bred our 4,000 babies, and using our banana utility token. And then in August, so just a little over a year ago, we came out with 15,000 voxelized Kongs, which is what you're seeing Inverted and I using. And those VX Kongs are going to be used in metaverses, games, etc. So I guess the reason I keep saying like this is so cool is because Kongs have been waiting a long time to be able to use VX Kongs in an environment like this. So it's just really, to me, exciting to be in a place like this. And of course, we've been building a lot behind the scenes and we have a lot coming out, but that gives you a bit of the origin of who the Kongs are, how we started, and we can talk as we go in a little bit about where we're going and what we're trying to accomplish.
Awesome. And I think Inverted, you said you were there from, the early days of the early mints. How have you seen the community grow? What have you seen change over that time?
Yeah, honestly, it's been one of the craziest things. I mean, I always say that like we're a unicorn in the space, right? We started off as a one-man COVID project that evolved into a community that's, going through the final stages of, coming out as a full brand. So there's just so much in the 18 months, almost 16 months. I don't even know. I lose track of time. It feels like 84 years, right? But it's everything from, early bull run to like full bull run to mini bear to bull bounce to where we are now, or whatever you want to call it. Like it's been a wild ride, that's for sure.
And what I love about what you guys, the way you work, you really do embrace this concept of Web3 and of pseudonymy and being, keeping your identity private. How do you guys work internally? Do you want to just share with us a little bit like how it all works? You've all got your pseudonyms, you've all got your Kongs. Henry, like how does it all actually work?
Yeah, and everybody's a little bit different. So some people want to, no, let me back that up a second. Some people are completely undoxed, and we're okay with that. Like, this is Web3. So if somebody does not want their persona IRL to be out there in Web3, we respect that. And then there are people like myself. I actually am doxed. The funny thing is my name is not Henry. Everybody just assumes my name is Henry. My name is not Henry, but it's what I go by. So it's kind of cool because, yes, there are those of us that know who each other are in real life, but we're very careful about who we share it with and when we share it. And I think that's just because in Web3, there's so much on the block, at least this is my take, there's so much that's available on this public ledger of the blockchain that anonymity is sort of one of the only things that you still have to be able to be, if you want to even call it mysterious, or to be able to guard certain aspects of your life. Myself, I live a pretty normal life. Like right this minute, I own a flooring store in real life, and I am in my flooring store doing this interview. But there's people whose lives, maybe they're in the financial sector, or maybe they live somewhere where it's not safe to be in crypto. And if people found out they were, maybe they would be in danger. So I feel like as Kongs, it's part of who we are. Is we don't care who you are, where you come from. If you vibe with our community and you want to be a part of our community, we accept you for who you are and what you're about, as long as you hold our ethos.
Umen.
What's Umen?
Oh,
yeah.
So CyberKongz were known for our and back before VX Kongs came out, we used to do these like fun little Kong prayers, if you will, in the Discord, where we would all get together, and it was just like a fun community thing. And we would end those with Umen. It was just sort of like an addition to U. So now Umen is sort of like a kind of like a, not a rallying cry. It's more like it's part of our ecosystem. It's part of the verbiage that we use.
Yeah. I think the whole concept and the whole idea that you can actually coordinate and collaborate, in this new way is just so fascinating. And I mean, Inverted, do you want to just share, like, how does it actually, how does the council work?
Yeah, as far as like our organizational structure and hierarchy, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the council was originally formed back in June or July of 21. With the idea that the original artist loves art. He wants to be able to have the capability to bring CyberKongz to more of the masses and make more of a thing. But at the same time, realized he's one Kong, right? So takes a team, takes a village, takes a jungle. So it was one of those where, there was, I believe, 10 of us originally that were all handpicked for our specialties in our kind of niche industries, quite a few devs, myself with like experiential marketing. So it's a lot of time and effort and back and forth, we'll say, because if you're familiar with Coco.eth, he's another one of the council members, pretty well known in NFT world, crypto, etc.
He's like a legend. Yeah.
So interesting fact is, like, even council hasn't even heard his voice or seen him on video or even had conversations like that. All of our conversations are text based. So
fascinating.
Imagine the back and forth, the different time zones, right? I think there's like 2 or 3 of us in the US. There's 4 or 5 in the EU somewhere. And, it's one of those that just has tons of time and energy and love put into it. It's amazing.
And I think it's such a great use case of the benefits of Web3 and what's possible. What are some of the other benefits that you guys are seeing, and what are some of the key sort of differentiators or the things that are exciting about this NFT new world?
Like what we're experiencing right now is one of those types of things. What does Web3 bring to the table? I mean, obviously, ownership of assets is a huge part of why so many of us believe in this. Personally speaking, I have 3 daughters in real life, ranging from 11 to 16. And I spent a lot of time paying for, Robux so my daughter could play Roblox. And
sure.
when I saw metaverses, pixelized or voxelized metaverses, I was like, oh my, and you can own these things and you can sell these things and you can make things that people can pay to access. I'm like, even though that wasn't something I was involved in, I was involved in the paying side of it. So to me, I was like, wow.
You were involved in somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I was involved in the financial side. And to me, there is no doubt that we have an entire generation of kids that are going to be coming into the metaverse that are already familiar with this. And there is going to be, I think, a lot of microtransactions and transactions that are done that's going to really elevate this to a level that I don't even think we're quite ready for. But the other thing to me that like drew me was the community side of things. Since I was in the military, and I tell this a lot to Kongs, it wasn't since I was in the military that I've had an experience where I was bonded with people around something really special. And it's Web3, it's NFTs. It's something that there's some camaraderie in going through experiences with people that are unique. And I think even though Web3 isn't fighting battles and it isn't dangerous, it still requires a lot of time, a lot of dedication to do like what we're doing. And that bonds you, and it's bonded us with the community. And the reason why, I'm so bullish on CyberKongz, I mean, take a guy like Inverted. Inverted was a day one minter. he got me into CyberKongz. My first Kong was from Inverted, and that was because it was I was a Bored Ape, was involved in the Bored Ape community, and have lots of friends that are in the Bored Ape community. And I think Yuga's done a fantastic job with their community. But when I came to Kongs, it felt different. It just hit differently. I was like, man, I don't get these tingles, these vibes in the Bored Ape Discord. And that's maybe because I'm like, I'll be 40 next month. It just wasn't the same type of community.
No way, man.
Yeah.
You look much younger than 40.
Well, thank you, bro. Thank you. But yeah, 40 next month. And Kongs were different, bro. I came in, I was like, man, this is a different group of people. And maybe Bert can talk about that a little bit as far as like the type of people we have in Kongs, and I think why people are so drawn to Kongs that are in Web3. And now I'll shut up.
No, you're killing it as always, man. I mean, Henry is like the perfect example of a Kong even too. I mean, he was one that came in, wasn't a minter. He came in later, heard about it, was introduced, worked his way literally through the ranks. He's started as just a holder, became a mod, became a community manager, and now sits on the council. It's crazy.
Amazing.
But just as far as development and just the people and stuff, it's I talked about like the bull market, bear market type mentality, stuff like that. Kongs, obviously we have our channels where we talk about that stuff, but at the same time, like we have, a lot of our channels like Gen Hall, and we're talking about like what our favorite kind of chairs are, taxes, or things of that nature that just kind of aren't necessarily like it's more about the community building, I'll say, on what the actual conversations are that are going on, and people talking about real things rather than, hey, what are you flipping right now? What are you flipping right now? And like no actual substance. So I think that's a big difference as far as kind of what we've done. And we also had a huge IRL presence over the duration of our lifespan. That a lot of us have, formed IRL bonds to even, reinforce that Discord presence. So, once we start having interactions like this, where Henry and I get to, jump around as Inverted and Mio in this instance, and just like, I mean, this is literally the pinnacle of what we've been waiting for.
Oh man, that's like music to my ears. And I think, these types of experiences coupled with all of these advances in Web3 and like you were saying, Henry, the idea of community, I don't think that there's going to be a protocol or a business model or a product that won't involve some form of Web3. It's just, too compelling to, have that ownership for the individual and to be part of this community and to be enabled by these new technologies and to have that sense of presence with each other in this virtual world just adds that other layer that is, it's just much better than what we've been using in the Web 2 way.
I was just going to say, you and I were having this conversation the other day about like, you mentioned you're not like a hardcore gamer, and like what is it that like keeps people coming back for more, right? So imagine like we're doing our council meetings like this, but at the same time like beating you up or whatever, or we're doing a race to see who can climb up something. Just the difference of having the interactive elements, adds so much to just the experience of it all.
I feel like one of the coolest things to me about this space, and exactly to what Inverted said, like we talk a lot, and because I'm not a gamer, like I gamed when I was a kid. I played, Mario Kart and Bond and, Halo and things like that. But then like you had the guys that like my brother who went next level, and they were into all the RPGs and the MMORPGs, and like there's a whole level of gaming that I just did not get involved with, and a whole level of internet culture that I was not involved in. And I think one of the cool things is like, I mean, just this scene right here, I'm discovering things like every day that I didn't even think would be a part of, like, let's say the metaverse. So of course, now that we're talking and I see how many cameras we have here, 5 cameras, give or take.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, of course it makes sense. They could have a camera that's that's focused on each person in the scene. Like, why wouldn't they do that? But until I came in here today it never crossed my mind that people would be doing interviews in the metaverse just like they would IRL. And it blows my mind how far this could go. And the things I always tell people, like, what excites me about Web3, it isn't just the things that I know are coming. It's actually the things that I don't know that are going to come from it. Because
yeah, that's a great point.
It's literally like we have no idea. We have no idea what this is going to look like in 10 years, but we do know that this is the ground floor of something major. Otherwise, we wouldn't all be here, and we wouldn't all be putting so much time into it. The people that I meet that I know are far more intelligent than I am, that dedicate their time to Web3, they're the ones who motivate me to say, like, yeah, this is the right space. We are early, and this is something unique that I think is going to be long standing. So like this is, I know I keep saying it, but this is just so interesting to me that this is a part of the metaverse, and it's cool.
Love it. And just as I think that's a great segue to just talk a bit about some of the work that you guys have been doing as a community. I know that you have quite a lot of land in different metaverses, and do you want to just tell us a bit about that and sort of what's the strategy behind that?
Yeah, I can take that one for sure. I think the big thing early on was that CyberKongz decided that rather than trying to create our own, we'll say, AAA game that everyone wants to play, why not create the thing that's gonna be what everyone uses to play every game? So interoperability is really the key of what's going on at we'll say the core of CyberKongz. Not only by rewarding our holders and making sure that for example, like if you picked up a we'll say 2 Genesis at Mint, literally everything in the system has been, we'll say, given to you through Banana, Babies, VX, whatever. So it's one of those that has a lot of, I guess, just growth potential in regards to the metaverse with once we introduce the 15,000 VX. And as far as land wise, I mean, I think Sandbox, we're one of the top 10 holders. We have a 24 by 24, 12 by 12, and a 3 by 3. So definitely a ton of land. And as far as I know, the number one holder PFP collection wise. But I know there's some big brands that also hold quite a bit of land in the top 10 too. So I'm not exactly sure where we fall in there anymore. But and then I mean we have, I'm going to say, literally a list of other lands. We have a Medium article available that has this all detailed out, from arcade to web to just everything, Sandbox, so I really think that there's a lot of potential in a lot of those, because I mean, let's be real, like everybody has their different kind of niche game that they play, or universe that they're gonna end up in.
And that's what happens when I think I think the alarm's going off near his house. I've heard that one before.
Put out a fire.
Yep. I'm thinking that's a volunteer fire department nearby. I'll pick up on where he kind of left off. I think
Perfect.
The interoperability of Kongs, and going back, like, we decided building our own metaverse was not in the cards for us. It didn't make sense. We just thought, why not have a cool avatar that you can take into all metaverses and into all games, or as many games as possible. So I think people ask all the time, like, why didn't you build your own metaverse? I think because there's people who are far more gifted at that than we are. We're still a really small team. And we have always gone about things differently than a lot of the other Web3, let's say, brands. And that's one of the things when you have leaders, I think I'm pretty sure you and I were talking way back when about Coco, and you're like, wait a second, is this Coco from Axis? And I'm like,
I've been following him for a while. Yeah, I mean, he's like my hero, Coco. And I didn't realize he was actually part of the Kongs even.
He is so many people's hero. And when you have people like Coco leading the project, and you have devs like Owl as the lead dev, it really just kind of gives you confidence to say, it's funny. I'll clue you into a little bit of the council. I remember thinking last night, at night, I often ponder about the future of Kongs and Web3. And I remember whatever preconceived ideas I have in my head, I spew them out, like, hey, how come we're not doing this? Or why don't we do this? Or why don't we do this? And I'm like, here we have a guy like Coco that has cemented himself in Web3. Why don't I stop telling him why I think we should do something and let him tell me why he thinks we shouldn't do that? Because realistically, his experience in this space, I think, outweighs so much of mine. And let's be real, like he has been successful to a degree that like very few people have. So when you have somebody like Coco and when you have a dev like Owl, I think it gives a lot of confidence to the community to know, like, even though we don't always know exactly where we're going to be 5 or 10 years from now, when we're being guided by people like that, and of course, you know, council plays a big role in the decisions that are made for the project. But when you have people like that, it gives confidence to know, like, hey, we've got some experience behind us. These are not just people who joined in 2020. These are old OG. Inverted. Inverted was a 2017 CryptoKitty breeder. So we have a lot of 2017 and before NFT Web3 degens.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, I think it's about, at the end of the day, it's about, solid leadership to help, grow the community, to take it to new heights. And, what I also love about you guys is your charitable nature of the community. I know that you support a lot of different charities. A lot of funds were donated to charities. Do you want to just share a bit about your philanthropic initiatives?
Yeah. So kind of the funny part that I always go into that about the, I'll say, financials of CyberKongz is, so originally there was 1,000 CyberKongz. They minted for essentially 0.01 on a 10 ETH sellout, right? Absolutely nothing in comparison to the average mint of today. So he sold out. 3 days later, he turns around and donates 6 of that Ethereum to a couple different, we'll say 8-based foundations, and then from there, we've done everything from a Christie's auction with 2 pieces during Art Basel that raised $1.2 million for Virunga National Park, to just, everyday little stuff. So it's definitely made some impact, and very proud to be a part of that. And yeah,
I think that's phenomenal. I think the Virunga jungle is something special in the world, and it needs communities like yours to support it. And that's a great segue to talk about, like, what do you guys have planned for the future? Henry, what's coming next? What are you excited about?
Oh, not even, like, this is going to sound like a broken record to our community, but like Q3 and Q4, I think people are going to really start to see things that we have been working on for a good part of 2022. They're going to start to see some of these things come to fruition. And really, like, in a nutshell, we're becoming a brand. So, Inverted spoke about how Mio started this as a COVID relief project. It had no intention of this becoming what it is. I'm of course, he's super stoked that it did, but we are reverse brand building because we didn't launch as a brand. We launched as a project by Mio that ultimately needed to get some people involved, which is the council, to help steer the ship, which has had to add additional staff on to scale up to the things that we're trying to do. And I think what people are going to find is that, we're trying to become a Web3 brand. Well, to be a Web3 brand means venturing into what all of us know as Web2. So that's a big part of what we're going to be doing is, our partnerships, our strategic partnerships within Web2, but also our advancements in Web3, the updates to our play and collect game, which is on Polygon. That's a big part of our ecosystem. So we have a lot of those things coming. And I think people this year are going to start to see a lot of these changes. Even honestly, even within the next month, people are going to see updates from Kongz. They're going to scratch their head. I no joke. Remember this moment where I tell you, people are going to scratch their head and they're going to be like, "Wow, Kongz, we're doing that." Because some of the stuff I know. It's Coco keeps us tight-lipped. Coco keeps us tight-lipped, but a lot of things are coming that I think people will be like, wow, I didn't think the Kongz were going to be doing that, but they did.
Oh man,
and
that's
I'm
so
excited,
exciting,
bro. I'm so excited. So excited.
That's also, and just I think we have run out of time. Inverted, if you want to just share with us some of the things you're excited about, and we'll definitely have to do this again. I think this is a fantastic format, and Inverted, what's exciting you at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, stuff like this, right? Like as Henry mentioned, I've been in since 2017, took a break between like 2018, 19 when, Grape was kind of downhill, and came back in, 21. But I'll say realization of just all of this. I mean, we're doing a Metaverse interview. Like, I just keep looking at Henry and like chuckling to myself. Even the other day, right? Like I was playing games that are NFT enabled, and it's just nice to see the hard work paying off and seeing Mio live here, Inverted live here. Like, I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah. That's what I'm excited about, is continued fruition of everything coming to life.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And then just to end off, where can guys find you? How do they get involved with the Kongs? What can they join? How for the community that's watching from Africa, what's the best ways to sort of get involved, become part of the community? Do they have to go and get a Kong themselves, or what do you suggest?
Yeah, so one of Henry's famous quotes is, "You don't have to own a Kong to be a Kong." I know that's not exactly it, Henry. I summarized it, but honestly, Discord, right? Like that's where the heart of our community is for the most part. We have a growing Twitter presence. It's one of those where we've always, we're quieter, humble Kongs, so we're not necessarily the loudest always on Twitter. But Discord, we have a lot of good times. We have, jungle parties where everybody vibes out. Henry does spaces a lot. Feel free to hop on those. Obviously, the website, which is getting a revamp, which should be coming out, sometime soonish. What am I missing, Henry?
Yeah, Mambo, camera three. I want you zoomed in on my face. I want to crouch and I want to look deep into all of your eyes and tell you all. Yeah, right here. Yeah.
There we go. Down there we go.
All of you people out there who wanted to be a part of a really amazing community, come check out CyberKongz. Come in our Discord. We're there to greet you. Drop some oomens, drop some ooze. Join us in real life at some of our events. And honestly, I'd love to see some Kongs running around the Ubuntulands, because this is amazing, and I feel like this is a piece of the metaverse that I could see the Kongs chilling in. So come in Discord, hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on Instagram, and we are always happy to engage with people. And thank you for bringing us on here. This was a treat for me. So thank you for having us.
Mad props to Cam 3.
Thank you guys so much. It's been a real honor and a privilege for us too, and we look forward to chatting more with you guys, and we'll see you in Ubuntuland. Next up, over to you, Lebs, for What the NFT.
Hey guys, today we've got a treat for all of you who think Discord is exclusively for 18-year-old gamers who live in their parents' basements. Well, while that's partially true, Discord is indeed for everyone. So Discord is an instant messaging social platform. Users have the ability to communicate with voice calls, instant messages, media, and sharing in private chats or as part of a community, which is called servers. Now, take a deep breath, okay? Let's jump right in and go step by step with this, because hey, even I don't know how to do this. We gotta all start from somewhere, right? So firstly, you'll want to download the app of their website. Once you open it, choose an email and your own private password. You can download it for your desktop or mobile. While the desktop version is better for navigation and ease, the mobile version definitely has its merits for keeping you updated whilst on the go. Neat, right? So let's give this a go. No stress, take your time, I got you. You go on a website like Africarare and you see the Discord logo up here. It will let you join their server immediately, taking you into the app. The safest way to join a legitimate server is to find different Discord servers from verified users' websites. A good place to start is to search for your favorite podcast, Twitch streams, YouTube channels, you name it. Then type in its name into Google, followed by Discord. This is a great way to see if there's an official or fan-made Discord channel relating to the topics that you're most interested in. Once that's done, you may be asked to read the housekeeping rules and react with a special emoji or button to confirm that you aren't a bot. Though this is just formality and isn't the case for every server, some servers are private and you'll need an invite link. That's where this button here comes in, where you can join a private or a public server and enter the link in order to join. And not all bots are created equal, right? Some are good and help to notify server managers to pick up discrepancies, issues, or scammers, as well as welcome new people into the server. These helpful little guys are usually listed on the right-hand side here for all to see. You can navigate your way with their layout. For example, here in Africarare, we have several tabs that host a variety of channels like announcements, official links, general chats, and many more separate channels that you can enter and get chatting with your friends and connections. Here are some quick tips to keep in mind. Keep your DMs turned off and enable a two-factor authentication over here. When using Discord, Google Authenticator is a great one because that's how most scammers weasel their way in. Turn off direct messages to add an extra line in your security. And keep the chats friendly because no one likes a troll, guys. No one. Lastly, here are some useful tips to keep in mind as well. Discord in the NFT, crypto, and gaming worlds are the main source of communication, more so than any other social media platform. So Discord is usually where announcements are actually made first, and you can directly talk to the team and like-minded people. Some channels are private, and you will need to be given specific roles to be granted access into the channels. You can receive roles in Discord servers. This is standard, and you are always given a basic role when you first join. And do things in the server by helping other people out will generally get you more advanced roles. Some channels you can't really chat on because they are announcements channels. These channels are used for the admin of the Discord server to indicate important information. Most servers have report channels to help identify any rude language or bots that users come across. Check out the Africarare Discord report channel for more information on safety and security. Lastly, use a fun and unique name. This is a gaming platform, guys, so it's 100% acceptable to give yourself a cool nickname. And that's how you set up your Discord, so keep it real, folks.
That's all, folks.
In 2007, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the final book in the series published by author J.K. Rowling, was published on this day. The funniest part in the series is arguably this statement right here. As Voldemort tightens his grip on both the Muggle and Wizarding worlds, Hogwarts is no longer a safe haven. When was it ever safe?
My mama always told me I could be whatever I wanted, so I became a problem.
The world is not in your books and maps. It's out there.
Did you know Donkey Kong was Mario's pet that he'd abused? Donkey Kong kidnapped Mario's girlfriend as revenge for the mistreatment. So who's in the wrong? To me it sounds like poor parenting. Bro, just because you wanted to nut with royalty doesn't mean you gotta leave your monkey.
Hey there guys, it's Lebo again, and it's time to share the NFT Love. This is my favorite part of the show, where we get to show you guys some love. So, the winners of the bonus round for the final weekly land drop game are in. Drum roll, please. Congratulations to all our winners. So, in case you want to know how you could win these amazing prizes, right? First thing you need to do is get onto Discord, right? Sign up, do your thing, then be active. The more active you are, the more chances you get to win. Go join, get involved, and you could strike it lucky. Well, that's all from me this week. Hope to see you next week. Bye.